Okay. Who would like to volunteer?
Sir, I will read it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's start. Okay, 1 minute, 1 minute.
Okay, sir. Om Agyan,
What are you doing?
Om Agyana Timirandasya Gnana Gnananjana Salakaya Chaksur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Mantra prayer to AC Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarini. I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is very dear to Lord Krishna, having taken shelter at his lotus feet. Our respectful obeisances are unto you, O spiritual master, servant of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami. You are kindly preaching the message of Lord Chaitanya Deva and delivering the Western countries, which are filled with impersonalism and voidism. Pancha Tattva Mantra. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadara, Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. I offer my obeisance to Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadara, Shri Vasa, and all others in the line of devotion. Maha Mantra. Maha means great, and mantra means sacred chant for deliverance. Of all the mantras in the Vedas, one is called the Maha Mantra or Great Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The words Hare pronounced Hare, Krishna pronounced Krishna, and Rama rhymes with Rama are Sanskrit words. Hare is an address to God's energy known as Radha, and Krishna is the name of God, meaning he who is attractive to everyone. Rama means one who gives pleasure and enjoys life. When chanted, the Maha Mantra is a petition to God. O Krishna, O energy of Krishna, please engage me in your service.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So what is the meaning of Krishna?
Krishna.
What does Krishna mean? Krishna means the most attractive. He is the most attractive.
Okay.
Okay. Krishna, the meaning is that. Okay.
Yes.
And Radha is, what is Radha? Who gives pleasure and enjoys life. She is, no, sorry.
So sorry, voice is breaking, sir. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Radha, what is Radha? 1 minute. Huh?
Prabhuji, your voice is breaking up.
Okay, can you hear me?
Prabhuji, the line is not so good.
Okay, wait, I'm waiting. Can you hear now? How about now? Can you hear?
Yes, sir.
Can, huh?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Radha and Hare is the same. What is Hare is God's energy. Radha. That's Radha Rani. Okay. She is God's energy. All right. Okay. Welcome to the chapter 18 of the Gita Gyan. This is the last chapter, but we still have 2 more days. So at least it's not over yet. And after that, maybe we can have once a week. some we can talk about some pastimes of Krishna and others after this, after you graduate. But I think yeah, and then you will there will be registration for level 2. So I encourage everyone to register. There will be once a week also. That will be normally every Sunday. Is it okay for you all Sunday? Once a week? Or you prefer it on a week?
What's the time, sir?
Same, 7:30 to 9.
Oh, okay.
Or you prefer a week and a weekday?
Sunday is okay, Prabhu.
Sunday okay, na? Yeah. So 7:30 to 9. Normally this is 1 hour, that is 1.5. Because it's going deeper into the course. Okay. All right. Who would like to read this?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I will read.
Yeah.
Devaki Nandana Krishno Gita Patena Tushyati Yadana Veder Danena Yachna Tirtha Vradadibihi. The son of Devaki, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, cannot be satisfied by anyone's study of the Vedas, charity, sacrifice, pilgrimage, or vows, as much as he is satisfied by the devotional recitation of the Gita. Vaishnava Tantriya Sara 22.
Thank you. So this was on one of the festivals. This is the temple in Kuala Lumpur. One of the festivals they had, and you can see so many flowers, so nicely decorated. This was when there was no lockdown. Now lockdown, all cannot do all this. And this is Shri Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra on the center. On the left is, on the right hand side of the left is Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and on the left hand side is Nityananda Prabhu. And here on the right hand side we have picture of Radha with Krishna. These are the deities in Vrindavan. If you go to Vrindavan temple, Krishna Balaram temple, you see this deity. So this one is just a photo. We don't have the actual deities here. And then we have all this. Nrsimha Dev is on the left hand side. I can't see properly, right? And then the Parampara, all the Acharyas, all of them. So we should chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and take blessings of all the Lord, take blessings of the Lord, and pray that we can become good devotees and we can go back to the spiritual world this very lifetime and give us the strength and that we can follow the instructions of Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita and perfect our life and go back. So this chapter 18 is the conclusion of the Bhagavad Gita. So please pay very careful attention to it. So we take the blessings of the Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shri. Who would like to read this?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I can try.
Yeah.
Jayate satatam sakyam sarva jiva ganai saha paraptam bhujato vapi jita vyasha ratasya cha. A person who is devoted to studying the Gita acquires a friendly disposition to all living beings, despite his accruing the reactions of his previous actions in this world. Sri Vaishnavya Tantra Sara, verse 32.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So a person who is devoted to studying the Gita, you know, some in the olden days, you can see the Christians, they will hold their Bible and they go everywhere. And then sometimes when they want to refer, when they have nothing to do, they will open the Bible and read. And then sometimes when they want to tell anyone something, they open one of the verses of the Bible and say, you see, this in the Bible. So that's actually a very good practice. So if we are brave enough, we can do that also. This is nice, everything. And also, if you study the Gita regularly, you be a friendly person. And you'll be pleasing to everyone, and everyone will be actually happy with you. Okay, so, and even though you have a previous reaction, still you will be happy. Normally, sometimes you were bad or you did sinful things in the previous life, you have to suffer, right? And you do good things, you enjoy, right? But because you're already protected by Krishna in the Gita, somehow or another you will become very pleasing, and you also become happy even though you don't have much. So today is the conclusion, the perfection of renunciation. Remember chapter 14, there are three mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Yesterday's chapter, mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Today also there is a mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance in different way. Also, in 18 we have again these are three types of actions of the. Let's see what we come up today. Okay. Okay. Then before we start this, maybe we can read. So 18.1. Someone can read 18.1 and 18.2 from the Bhagavad Gita.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I would like to read.
Yeah.
Arjuna said, O mighty armed one, I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation, yagra, and of the renounced order of life, sannyasa, O killer of the Kesi demon, master of the senses. Text 2. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the giving up of activities that are based on material desire is what great learned men call the renounced order of life, sannyasa. And giving up the results of all activities is what the wise call renunciation, yaga.
Okay.
Yaga.
This is actually a very interesting. Arjuna is asking two things. He said that if understand the purpose of renunciation, why we are renouncing all the material things. And he's saying that if we become fully renounced, that means take up sannyas. So can you please explain to me? You understand the question so far?
Yes, Prabhu.
Understand? Who don't understand?
You mean text 1, is it?
Yes. Who don't understand the question?
Prabhu, does it say that what he's asking is, I wish to understand renunciation, meaning why people renounce material things, is it? Another one, why like you become a sannyasi.
Yeah. So actually, Krishna is telling us to be renounced from actions, right? That is the first one. Second one is, what if a person becomes a renounced order of life, sannyasiya? Okay. So can understand so far? Huh? Then what Krishna replies? He says the giving up of activities that are based on material desire is what great learned men call the renounced order of life. And giving up the results of all activities is what the wise call renunciation. So you can give up all activities which are based on material. That means you are fully, totally doing, let's say, God's work, preaching, and it's called the renounce order. It means you have give up all. You don't go to work all. You just do this preaching and renounce. And just totally surrender to the Lord. And the giving up of results of all activities is renunciation. All material activities. So we are in the second category, right? So I don't recommend you to be in the first category unless you are really that level. It's no point wearing the dress of a person who is renounced, but actually in the heart you still have many material desires. Then don't do that.
Prabhuji, can I just check one thing?
Yes.
The word sannyasa means you leave your family and you are all by yourself. Is that what it means by sannyasa?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so you're away from the family and everything, isn't it?
You leave your family to go to preaching fully.
Okay.
You see, there was this one during Prabhupada's time. There was one person who was married, but he was very Gaur Govinda Swami, his name. After renouncing, he was very desirous of leaving the household life, and then he told his wife, "I want to leave. I'm already 50 years old. I want to leave this house and go and do spiritual things." So the wife told the family, and then the whole village came to him and said, "No, you cannot do such a thing. You have to look after your wife." But he said, "My desire is that I already did my duty as a husband, and now I want to go." So they all say, "No, you cannot go. We don't allow you." Then the wife said, "Let him go." He says that his desire is okay, let him go. Then all the village people said, "Okay, go." And then he went traveling and he met Prabhupada. And then he was looking all around for a guru. And somehow or another he found Prabhupada. And then Prabhupada met him. Then Prabhupada asked him, "Are you initiated? Do you have a guru?" He said, "No." And Prabhupada said, "If you want, I can be your guru." He said, "Yes, I want you to be my guru. Please initiate me." And so Prabhupada initiated him, not single initiation, not the Brahmin initiation. He initiated him sannyas initiation, straight away. Normally, a person goes through single initiation, then he goes to Brahmin initiation, then can go to sannyas. But sannyas, normally you don't take initiation of sannyas because it's not very much recommended. And even you take a single initiation, you still can go back to the spiritual world. You have already a lineage. You already connected to the parampara. There are 4 paramparas, bona fide paramparas. That one I will speak on tomorrow. Okay, and so if you are connected to any of these 4 bona fide parampara, then you are on the Sanatan Dharma Vedic path. Otherwise, you are not on the Vedic path. So anyway, so Krishna, Arjuna is asking, and then finally, Mataji, can you read the verse 3 also? The person who read 1 and 2, can you read?
Yeah. Okay. Some learned men declare that all kinds of fruitive activities should be given up as faulty, yet other sages maintain that acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance should never be abandoned. Thank you.
So Krishna is saying, some people say that you should give up, you become sannyasi, is you should give up. You should renounce the world. You know, to go back to the spiritual world, you should renounce the world so that you can go back spiritual world. Be a sannyasi. But other sages say that you don't have to become a sannyasi, but you should always do sacrifice, charity, and penance. This should never be abandoned. Okay, someone else can read 4 and 5 from Bhagavad Gita.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, I'll read number 4 and number 5.
Yes.
O best of Bharatas, now hear my judgment about renunciation. O tiger among men, renunciation is declared in the scriptures to be of 3 kinds. Text 4. Text 5. Acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up. They must be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, and penance purify even the great souls. Hare Krishna.
So Krishna says that renunciation is 3 types: mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance.
Cannot hear, Master.
Hare Krishna. And then again, Krishna says that you must do sacrifice, charity, and penance. It's never to be given up. Sacrifice, charity, and penance even purify great souls, people who are in a very high level of spiritual enlightenment. They also must do. So in this way, Krishna is indirectly saying that you don't have to be a sannyasi. You can remain as you are, but you do these things. And then that is considered that you will get perfection. Okay. So now we go, Krishna is speaking about renunciation. 1 minute, huh? Okay, who would like to read 6 and 7 from Bhagavad Gita?
I'll read, Prabhu.
Yes.
6 and 7. Huh?
Yes.
Okay. All these activities should be performed without attachment or any expectation of result. They should be performed as a matter of duty, O son of Radha. That is my final opinion. Text 7. Prescribed duties should never be renounced. If one gives up his prescribed duties because of illusion, such renunciation is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So let's see what Krishna speaks. Later on, Krishna speaks about knowledge. There is knowledge in the mode of goodness. One undivided spiritual nature is seen in all living entities. That means you have a knowledge that Krishna is present everywhere and also in each individual living entity. That is knowledge in the mode of goodness. Knowledge in the mode of passion is you see every different body is different. That means you don't see any that Krishna is in everyone. You say, okay, this is this person, this is Chinese, this is Tamil, this is European, this is elephant, this is tiger, but you don't see that the underlying factor, that means the common factor in everyone is that they are all children of God and that Krishna is a super soul in each of them. So that is the knowledge in the mode of passion. You think I am the body and this is this fellow, this is Soma, this is Indra, this is whatever. You got the point. So you see everyone as separate. This is my family, that is somebody else's family, all this, you see everybody as separate. And you identify yourself with the body. And then knowledge in the mode of ignorance is one person who is attached to one kind of work as the all in all. He said, sometimes you heard that work is God. So I don't know what it, if you say my work is my God, everything is my work is for everything to me. Without knowledge of the truth, and which is very meager. They don't care about learning scripture. They don't care about learning God. All they want to do is from their house they go to work, and their work is for them everything. They are so attached to the work. This one you can see a lot in business people. Sometimes they are so attached to their business that even at the time of death, they cannot forget their business. That is knowledge in the mode of ignorance. They don't really do anything else. So these are the types of people who have knowledge. Okay, then the next is happiness. Also, there is three kinds. One is in the mode of goodness, which in the beginning may be just like poison, but at the end is nectar. Work, happiness is something that you do. In the beginning, it is like poison. That means it's bitter. Don't say poison, let's say bitter. But at the end, it's just like nectar. But when you do it, after a while, you feel very blissful. This is which awakens one's to one's self-realization. So reading the Bhagavad Gita sometimes is very difficult because you have so much responsibilities, other things you have to do, this, that you say, never mind, this one, wait. But actually the other things that you do, all the duties that you have, the work duties, the house duties, they all they take your time and make you do a lot, but in the end you don't really get the bliss. But if you do like reading Bhagavad Gita and then doing spiritual things, speaking to spiritual people about Krishna, that one is actually in the beginning it's a bit difficult. Like chanting in the beginning is a bit difficult. But when you keep on chanting and chanting, after a while it becomes actually quite pleasant. So that one, and you feel a bit happy and you feel a peace of mind when you do enough chanting. So this type of activities, happiness awakens ones to self-realization. Then we have happiness in the mode of passion, which is derived from contact of the senses with their objects. That means I go and I do something and I got a lot of reward, I'm very happy. And something good comes to me, I'm very happy. Something bad happens to me, I'm very sad. So that is in the mode of passion. This one appears like nectar at first, but poison in the end. Example, you eating too much sweets. It's actually very nice. Some people who are attached to sweets, they love eating sweets until they cannot control themselves, they cannot stop. They should know that actually, according to Ayurveda, you should only eat one piece of sweet after a meal. That's it. You should not be eating a box of sweets. It actually is not good for you. It tastes nice, but in the end, it is actually gives you it's like poison. It spoils your health. Maybe you get diabetes, or maybe you get fat, or something like that. Which appear as nectar, but is poison in the end. It's not good for you. So in this way, this type of happiness is you should be careful. You should keep according to the limit, the things that you do. And then you have happiness in the mode of ignorance, which is blind to self-realization. which is delusion from the beginning to end, which arises from sleep, laziness, and illusion. So this one is a person who feels happy just doing nothing, or maybe just going and just go around the whole neighborhood and start poking their nose into other people's business and go and chit chat, don't want to do your duty, don't want to do your work, you know. So this is the type of happiness. This is blind to self-realization. They don't want to read the scriptures, they don't want to do austerity, they don't want to do penance. All this what they don't want to do because they say this is no good. I want to be just happy. So in this way, they just do things which are blind to self-realization, and it is something which is not good for you in the beginning and something which is not good in the end. Like drinking in the beginning also not good, in the end also not good. But they get happiness from that. They get happiness from smoking. So these are actually happiness in the mode of ignorance. Okay. Any questions so far? So far, okay, huh? Okay, let's see. Actually, this chapter is a very long chapter. In level 2, we'll go deeper into all of this, okay? So this one, we are giving you an overview, so you understand. Okay, this is done. Before we do this, can someone read 1846 and 1847 and 1848, 3 verses? Any volunteer? 46, 47, 48.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Yes, 46, 47, and 48 is it? Read.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will read now. For text 46. By worship of the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all pervading, a man can attain perfection through performing his own work. Text 47. It is better to engage in one's own occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, rather than accept another's occupation and perform it perfectly. Duties prescribed according to one's nature are never affected by sinful reactions. 1848. Every endeavor is covered by some fault, just as fire is covered by smoke. Therefore, one should not give up the work born of his nature, O son of Kunti, even if such work is full of fault. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So this is Krishna saying that worship and surrender to the Lord is for everyone. Doing work according to his character once gets purification. Example, a soldier is, in Arjuna's case, his character is to be a soldier rather than try and do another occupation. In the case of Arjuna, he wanted to renounce and be a Brahmana. He said, no, I don't want to kill. I want to now become a Brahmana. But he will, his character is that of a soldier. So he cannot be a good, even though he may be a Brahmana, but his heart is not in the, to be a Brahmana. His heart is to be in a Kshatriya mood. Krishna says to do an occupation according to one's character, even if imperfect, is better than to do another occupation not as per his character, even if he does it well. Why? Because your heart must be in it. You must love doing it. Even if supposing like you are a you do Brahminical work, but and you are love doing it and you cannot do it so well, it's still better you do that way. On the other hand, you are not a Brahminical person and you try and be a Brahminical person because everyone says it's nice to be a Brahmana and they get so much respect. But if your heart is not there, it should not be done. So this is because a person won't be happy and he will be a misfit. Doing one's occupation as per one's inclination, you will not incur sin. Otherwise, you will do things without your heart and soul in it. And Krishna has, like Arjuna is supposed to be a soldier, and Krishna wants him to do the job well. And don't get confused and misguided that he should not kill, because finally his job is to actually defend and kill and fight in the war. So he should not say, I don't want to fight. So in this same way, if our job is doing certain things, we should do it and do it well. And we should not be saying, no, I don't want to do this job. I want to do something else because I think something else is better. But actually, your inclination is to do this work. So Krishna is wanting us to attain perfection doing our job. So far, is that clear? Your job is supposing you are supposed to do look after your family. You're supposed to look after family. You cannot just say I don't feel like looking after my family anymore because no one gives me respect. You do your duty and be a nice person. Whether the person gives you respect or not, your family gives you respect or not, that's a separate issue. Of course, if you are a good if you do it well and you be a nice person, there is no reason why they should not respect you. But you should not be hankering for the respect. Like if I am a father, I should not be hankering, oh, I'm looking after the family, everyone should respect me. No, you should not be hankering. You do it your duty. Whatever it is, whether they like it or not, you do your duty correctly as per how Krishna wants us to do. In that way, everything will fall in place, not to worry. Okay? Is that understood so far?
Yes, Prabhu.
Any doubts, please ask now, so we can proceed to the next one. Okay, now more confidential knowledge. Who would like to read this?
Can I read, Prabhu? Please guide me.
Okay. You want to do on your own? You want
Prabhu, I
to
need
guide
your
you?
guidance.
Okay. Ishvara sarva
I follow.
bhutanam
Ishvara sarva bhutanam
ede desi arjuna tisthati
ede desi arjuna tisati
Ramayan sarva bhutani
Brahmayan sarva bhutani
yantra rudhani mayaya
yantra rudhani mayaya.
Okay. Tam eva saranam gacha.
Tam eva saranam gacha.
Your sister also can join you. Sarva bhavena bharata.
Sarva bhavena bharata.
Tatra sadat param santim.
Tat prasad param santim.
Tatra sadat param santim.
Tat prasadat param santim.
Stanam prapsyasi saswatam.
Sthanam prapsyasi Saswatam
Okay. Iti te janam akyatam.
iti te janam aktyatam
Guyat guyataramaya.
guya guya taramaya
Vimrisyai tat asisena.
vim vimriyat tat asisena
Ya te chasi tata kuru.
yache yache jasi tata guru.
Good.
The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. Ocean of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. By his grace you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme and eternal abode. Thus I have explained to you knowledge still more confidential. Deliberate on this fully and then do what you wish to do. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So this is the more confidential knowledge. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart as the Paramatma and is directing you, the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as on a machine. The body is like a machine made of material energy. So Ocean of Bharata. Ocean means a product of Bharata. Surrender unto him utterly. Fully surrender unto Krishna, meaning whatever Krishna is saying, just follow completely. By his grace, you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme and eternal abode. You will attain transcendental peace. Here also you will attain peace. And when you go back to the supreme abode, eternal abode, there also the same peace for you. Okay? Thus, I have explained to you knowledge still more confidential. So Krishna says, I have given you now, all in the Bhagavad Gita, knowledge is confidential, and now even now this knowledge I'm giving you is even more confidential. It's like the cream of knowledge.
Yeah.
Deliberate.
No.
Indra, your mic is on. Can you off it? Okay, thanks. So deliberate on this fully. That means put your mind on it fully. So your mind can be your friend when you put your mind on it fully. And then do what you wish to do. So Krishna is saying, I have explained to you everything. And I cannot force you to do more. It's up to you. You want to do, you do. You don't want to do, that is your independence. Krishna has given us the independence to follow or not follow and do our own thing. Krishna says, I cannot force you because it is not my nature to force you. And I want you to actually be sincere in your heart if you really want to follow the instruction and come back to the spiritual world. If you are not sincere, never mind, you leave, you remain in the material world. He doesn't say, if you don't follow, I'll kill you. Soul cannot be killed. How can a person be killed? Or I put you in hell forever. No, it's not God, not a nature of Krishna to do that. He's a very loving person. He says to Arjuna, you are my friend. You think about it. I have given you the full knowledge of how to attain spiritual perfection. Now it's up to you whether you want to do it or not. Okay, who would like to read this? Yes. You have to speak louder. I can't hear you well.
Can you hear me?
Not so. Can anyone hear her properly? I can't hear her much.
The voice is a bit low.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a bit low.
Can you speak a bit louder?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Not really.
Then okay, never mind. Let somebody else read.
Yeah, I think your mic is something wrong or something, isn't it?
No. It's actually full, 100%. I don't know.
100%.
Yeah, my
Hare
voice is
Krishna, Prabhu.
full.
Hare
Okay.
Krishna. Okay, you
Hello. Yeah.
do? Okay.
Prabhu, I follow you, Prabhu.
Okay. Sarva Guyatamam Bhuyam. You want me to do it slower? Sarva.
Prabhu, not clear, Prabhu.
Can you hear?
Sarva.
Sarva.
Yes, clear.
1 minute. Sarva
Sarva.
Guyatamam
Sarva Gutayamam
Bhuyam.
Guya
Snu me
Sarva Guyata
mam
Mam Buve
Bhuya.
Buya
Yeah. Then Snu
Snu
me paramam
Srunu
vacha.
Me Paramam Vacha
Isto si me
Isto Sime
dridam iti
Dridam Iti
tato vakshyami
Tato Vakshyami
tehitam.
Tehitam.
You want to try again?
Okay, can
Sarva guyatamam
Sarva Bhutayamam
bhuya.
Buya
Snu me paramam vacha.
Srinu Me Paramam Vacha
Isto si me
Isto Sime
dridam iti
Dridam Iti
tato vakshyami
Tato Vakshyami
tehitam.
Te Itam.
Okay.
Because you are my very dear friend, I am speaking to you my supreme instruction, the most confidential knowledge of all. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So actually, Krishna is speaking to all of us right now. He is in our heart. He is speaking to us now through this course. He says, you are my very dear friend. Anyone who has come to Krishna and is listening to the Bhagavad Gita is his very dear friend. You know, I am speaking to you my supreme instruction, the most confidential knowledge of all. The Bhagavad Gita is the most confidential knowledge of all. It's the supreme instruction. Hear this from me, for it is you for your benefit. It's not for Krishna's benefit. It's for our benefit. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, he's also telling all of us. Whoever is now trying to read the Bhagavad Gita, he is now explaining to us that it is for our benefit. Okay, who would like to read this? This is a very special verse. This is the most confidential verse. This is the topmost verse in the Bhagavad Gita, these two verses. Who would like to try?
Can you hear me now, Prabhuji?
I can hear you, but faintly. Okay, you shout a bit more. Let me see whether I can hear you.
It's okay, Prabhuji, it's okay.
No, actually, I'm getting a better sound from you.
Yeah, Prabhuji, better.
Yeah, you can try, never mind.
I go after you.
Okay. Man mana bhava mat bhakto
Manmana bhava mat bhakto.
adyaji mam namaskuru.
Madhyaji mam namaskuru.
Good. Mam evasyasi satyam te
Man evasyasi satyam te.
prati jane priyosi me
Prati jane priyosi me.
sarva dharman parityakya
Sarva dharmam parityakya.
mam ekam saranam vraja
Nam ekam saranam braja.
aham tvam sarva papebhyo
Aham tvam sarva papebhyo.
mokshasyami ma sucha.
Mokshaste swami maksucha.
Yeah, okay.
Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. Abandon all varieties
Varieties.
of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you. So Krishna is saying, always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage to me. This is the process of devotional service. Thus, you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. Even though you have imperfections, you will go to Krishna without fail if you do this. Think of me, be my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. This is what Krishna says. You will come to me without fail. I promise you because you're my very dear friend. And then the second one is abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Whatever sinful reaction you got, I will actually take it out from you, make you pure, so that you can, at the end of your life, you can actually go back to the spiritual world, because you need to be pure to go to the spiritual world. How are you going to reach the spiritual world if you're not pure? So Krishna will take away all your sinful reactions. So your journey is confirmed. You get a confirmed ticket on the swan, which the Vishnu Dutas will come and take you away. You won't see the Yamadutas at all. And he says, abandon all varieties of religion, because most religions are materialistic. They are materialistic. People go to a lot of time, they go to different religions who can promise them material gain. Or maybe they will promise you that you will go to the spiritual world. But actually, they don't promise you the spiritual world, because their conception of spiritual world is the heavenly planets. That is the problem. So they promise you the spiritual world, but the spiritual world is the heavenly planets. Heavenly planets means after you finish your pious activities, you come back down to the material world. So that's why Krishna says, abandon all these type of religion. You just surrender unto me. How? Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage to me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. So this is actually a very nice verse. So if you can memorize this, it'll be quite nice. If you can memorize the Sanskrit and the English, is nice. But if you can't memorize the Sanskrit, at least the English you try and memorize. Okay? Okay, who would like to read this? This is all in English. No Sanskrit. Any volunteer who hasn't read? There are a lot of you.
I will read, Prabhu.
Okay. Yeah.
For one who explains the supreme secrets to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. And I declare that he who studies this sacred conversation of ours worships me by his intelligence. And one who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from sinful reactions and attains to the auspicious planets where the pious dwell.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
So if you explain this supreme secret to the devotees, devotees means a person who is willing to listen. When you are willing to listen to spiritual science, you are already considered a devotee. Okay? He says pure devotional service is guaranteed. So once you learn this and then you practice it and you explain it to others, pure devotional service is guaranteed. So, and at the end, he will come back to me. You know, there is a story, Gandhi, one lady had a son, and this son loved to eat the sweets. And sweet was bad for him because he has diabetes. No matter how much he try and tell the son, don't eat, he will still eat. Somehow or another, he will find some place where there are sweets and he will eat. So one day she thought, okay, this Gandhiji, you know, Mahatma Gandhi, he's a very great person. So let me bring to him and see whether he can help. So she brought the son and she told the Mahatma Gandhi, Gandhiji, please talk to my son. I've talked to him, but he's not listening. You are a great man. You talk to him, maybe he listen. So Gandhi said, okay, why don't you bring him after 1 week? So she said, okay. So anyway, 1 week later, she came with his son. And the son, and he told the son, don't eat sweet, it's no good for you. And then the son stopped eating. Again, the lady came another day and said, Gandhiji, I've got a question to you. Say, yes. You know, the first time I brought my son, I asked you to tell him not to eat sweet, but you said, no, come back a week later. So then I came back a week later and you told him, and really he did stop. So can you tell me why on the first week you did not tell me? He said, because you know, I was myself eating sweets. How can I tell the son of yours stop eating sweet? Myself, I'm eating sweet. So I had to stop eating sweet so that when I tell him stop eating, at least I am telling things which I myself am practicing. Not I am not practicing, but telling you to do it. So that is why you should practice the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, and then you explain to others, and the impact will be there. And then Krishna says, there is no servant in the world more dear to me than he, nor ever be more dear. Anyone who helps other people in becoming, in learning the spiritual science of God consciousness, Krishna consciousness, he is very, very dear to Krishna. And there is no one who is more dear than this type of person. Not a person who goes to Krishna and says, I love you, I love you. And then Krishna says, okay, you go and preach to the people about this supreme secret. No, Krishna, I no time. I love you only. I just want to sit with you. Just like the lady who tells her husband, I love you. Husband says, you go and do this housework lah, help me. I am also will help you. No, no, you do everything. I just want to love you. That's all. Cooking you do, cleaning you do, everything you do, but I just want to love you. That is my job. So that is not really what Krishna says. A person who is a devotee of my devotee is my devotee. But a person who thinks that they are my devotee is not really my devotee. And then I declare that he who studies this sacred conversation of ours worships me by his intelligence. So your mind, your intelligence can control the mind. So your intelligence becomes purified. Your mind becomes purified. And then at the end of the life, you can leave your mind and your intelligence and go as a pure form back to the spiritual world. You have supreme intelligence, and you have a spiritual mind, no more a material mind. And one who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from sinful reaction and attains to the auspicious planet where the pious dwell. So if you listen with, if you not really want to go back to the spiritual world, but you're still very materialistic and tangled. So, but you listen with faith and without envy, at least you don't make it to the spiritual world, you at least go to the heavenly planets where the pious dwell. You see, if you don't want to go back and you're still very attached to the world, but you just by being listening faith and without envy, you still get a benefit. How powerful this instruction of Krishna is. Okay, who would like to read this?
I will try, Prabhu. You guide me, I'll try.
Okay. Kachit etat
Kachit etat
shrutam pratam
Shrutam prata
Tvayaikagrena
Tvayaika krena
Chetasam
Chetasa
Kachit Ajnana
Kachit Ajnana
Samoha
Samoha
Pranastaste
Pranastaste
Dhananjaya.
Dhananjaya.
Good, Shami.
O son of Partha, O conqueror of wealth, have you heard this and with an attentive mind? And are your ignorance and illusions now dispelled?
So,
Thanks, Prabhu.
O conqueror of wealth, that's Arjuna. Have you heard this with an attentive mind? Remember, anything you want to do well, your mind must be focused on it. So in this way, he's asking, did you listen with an attentive mind? And are your ignorance and illusions now dispelled? After speaking this, is now, are you in the correct frame of mind? You don't have ignorance and your false illusions all are gone. So this is what Arjuna said. Who would like to read? Who hasn't read? Manju?
Can I try?
Yeah, can.
Arjuna uvacha nasto moha smiti labda tvat prasadan mayachyuta shito smigata sandeha karisya vachanam tava. Arjuna said, my dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt, and am prepared to act according to your instructions. Thank you.
Okay, I just want to clarify with you. This is you. It's not Maya. Maya Chutya. It's my Akutya. Akutya is Krishna. Okay. All right. So Arjuna said, "My dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. The Guru has given the knowledge, and the disciple has taken the knowledge. I am now firm and free from doubt, and am prepared to act according to your instruction." So what is Arjuna now doing? He is doing this. He is always thinking of me, being my devotee, worship him and offer homage, and he is just surrender unto him. You know, worship the intelligent. Where is it? Anyway, Arjuna says that, yes, I am following your instruction. Okay. Who would like to read this one? It's the ending. Who would like to read this? Can you hear?
Oh,
Prabhu.
can you hear?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I will try.
Yeah.
Sanjaya Uvacha Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara Tatra Srir Vijayo Budhir Dhruva Nithir Matir Mama. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So wherever there is Krishna, wherever the master of mystics is the master, and wherever there's Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will always also certainly be opulence, victory, power, and morality. You will be successful in everything if you have Krishna with you and Arjuna with you. So in this way, we should always put the Bhagavad Gita with us, because Krishna is and Bhagavad Gita is not different. Always have in your mind what Krishna is speaking, and always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna, and your life will be successful, because you will be successful in this material world by getting the happiness and the peace and the bliss that you want, and also you will be successful in going back to the spiritual world, where you will also get the happiness, bliss, and peace that you want. Okay, so let's come back to recap. Knowledge, goodness. Knowledge in the mode of goodness is one undivided spiritual nature is seen in all living entities. In the mode of happiness, in the mode of goodness is, at first is a bitter or it tastes a bit bad, but in the end is nectarian self-realization. And then in the mode of passion is nectar first and is poison, sense and sense objects. Okay, it's like you are attached to sense and you are attached to the sense object. And then happiness in the mode of ignorance is delusion, blind to self-realization and blind to what is good for you. Then the most confidential knowledge, always think of me, be my devotee, worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fear. That is how you get perfection in life. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful activities. Do not fear. So Sanjaya conclusion is Krishna and Arjuna. Wherever there is Krishna and Arjuna, there will be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. So in this way, who would like to read this? Who hasn't read?
Did you want me? Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah. Yeah, please.
Namaskar. Yes.
Oh, 1 minute. Sorry, this thing is going up and down. Okay.
The importance of chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is very strongly stressed in the second canto, first chapter, verse 11 of Srimad Bhagavatam. In the following way, Sukadeva Goswami Maharaj tells Maharaja Prakshit, my king, if one is spontaneously attached to the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it is to be understood that he has obtained the highest perfectional stage.
So sometimes when we are chanting, we are not so attached. But you can see the result that if you are spontaneously attached to chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it means you have reached the very high spiritual perfection. So in this way, that is a test for yourself. Okay. So this one is actually the last Mahasangha. I will send you the latest one. This one is still not updated the date. This is the previous batch. Okay. Mahasangha means graduation. Okay, and this is still not updated. I will give you update. It's this Saturday. So if you join the Gita Gyan level 2, the Bhagavad Gita will be explained in detail for 21 weeks, every Sunday for 21 weeks. And then on the 22nd week is introduction to Srimad Bhagavatam, and also Samilan program, meaning learning program. Okay, and now we can't do this week 24. We are actually supposed to go on a picnic or something for all the participants, because now we're COVID, that's the problem. Okay, so this is, if hopefully that time COVID don't have, we can do this. Otherwise, one day in the future when there's no COVID, we'll organize outing for all the people who have done the different groups. All will join together and have maybe a picnic or something. Okay, so if you want to buy the Srimad Bhagavatam, you contact me, we give you a special price. And then any question?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I
Right.
have a question.
Yeah.
I was referring to, I find text 41 to 47 quite fascinating. The reason being,
Yeah.
in text 41, Krishna says, Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras are distinguished by the qualities born of their own nature in accordance with their material modes.
Yeah.
And then he further explains in 45, and he said, by following these qualities of work, every man can become perfect. Then in 47, he says, it is better to engage in one's own occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, than to accept another's occupation and perform it perfectly. Duties prescribed according to one's nature are never affected by sinful reactions. So my question is, say a child is born in the Vaishyas lineage, right? So Vaishyas here in text 44, Krishna says, someone who's born into the lineage of farming, cow protection and business.
Yeah.
because that is the natural work for Vaishyas.
Yeah.
So say a son of a farmer,
Yeah.
right? And he grows up and then he joins the army, which is more of a Kshatriyan nature of work,
Yeah.
right? And he goes up the higher rank. And so what is that something that's not recommended? What is Krishna really trying to say in 47?
Krishna is saying that your nature is not according to the family you're born in. Your nature is according to your inclination. If you are born in a family of, say, farmers, but your inclination is to be a Kshatriya and a soldier, that means you should not do farming. You should go and be a soldier. That means if you are born in a Brahmana family, does not automatically make you a Brahmana. You have to have that type of qualities. If you want to do business, then you are not a Brahmanical quality. You are in a actually what you say Vaishya family. Example, if you are born in a family of doctors, does not automatically make you a doctor. If you are inclined to be a doctor, then you are considered a doctor. But if you are inclined to be an engineer or maybe a business person, you are not even though you are born in a family of doctors, or does not automatically make you a doctor. You have to come to that qualification. You have to go through the same course. So if inclination is not there, don't do. That's why it's not that you are born into a family that you automatically are like that. No, you are. It's according to your inclination.
Okay, so that means he is not saying that if you are born into a farmer's family, then the nature that you inherited by birth is more for business world.
Yeah.
So that you cannot venture into other jobs. So what he's saying is go with your calling lah.
Yes, yes. Work your part.
Right.
That means.
Understood.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, any other question? No question? Okay, I give you one nice small story. You know, Krishna likes to eat butter, right? He likes to eat butter. He will go to everyone's house and steal the butter. Why does he steal the butter? Because when the person who is making the butter, churning the yogurt into butter, she's only thinking, how nice if Krishna comes and eats this. So then she makes it, but then she never but she cannot tell her family, I want to give this to Krishna. The family say, why? We are here to eat. This is our home. Krishna has so much butter in his own home. Why must you give him? So anyway, you know, the gopis who are doing the butter, they're always thinking. So Krishna knows, he comes and steals the butter and they are actually very happy. They outwardly, they say, oh, you see what happened? The butter is stolen by Krishna. So anyway, they can blame Krishna. Krishna takes the blame, but he satisfies the people. But there was this lady who did not like Krishna to steal the butter. So what she did, she tied a bell to the pot of butter. And then she left the door open. Normally the doors are closed, but she left the door open. So Krishna came and he saw, wow, this is very strange. Door is open. Normally doors are locked and I have to somehow or another get into the room and open the door, and all of us will start eating the butter, he and his friends. So anyway, he went and then he said something's not right. So he closed the door and he saw that there is a bell. Oh, someone is wanting me to steal the butter, and then the bell will ring and they will catch me. Very good. Then he talked to the bell. He said, bell. So the bell say, yes, I want to make a deal with you. Yes, Krishna, what deal you want? I'm going to steal the butter, but you don't ring, okay? The bell say, you are the Supreme Lord. Of course, I will follow you. I won't ring. So then Krishna went and he took the butter and all of them started eating, and then suddenly the bell rang. Krishna asked the bell, why you rang? You already make a promise with me. He said, you know how to do offering to you without the bell. So that's why by my nature is to ring. So I rang. What can I do? Even though I promised you, I forgot myself and I saw you eating. And normally when we are offering to the Lord, we will ring the bell. So that's why. So the gopis came in, the lady, and they caught this, and then all the boys ran away, the monkeys ran away, and she catch Krishna. Okay, now there is butter on your mouth. There is butter in your hand. And she told Krishna, I'm going to bring you to Mother Yashoda. Because every time she complained to Mother Yashoda said, why will Krishna go and steal in your house? In my house, there's so much butter, he can eat as much as he wants. What's the point of him going to your house? So she said, I'm going to show this to Mother Yashoda, and she is going to be very shameful. Mother will be shameful and you will be shameful. So she breathed and she went to Mother Yashoda's house. Mother Yashoda is the mother of Krishna. And said, Mother Yashoda, yes, yes. Look at this. I have caught your son, the butter thief. Look at him. And then Mother Yashoda was with some of her friends. And all of them start laughing at this lady. And then she said, why are you laughing? Can't you see that this boy is a thief? You should be angry with him. You are laughing at me somehow. He said, you see, look at the boy that you brought. And then when the lady saw the boy that she brought, she got a shock. Hey, this is my son. Because Krishna turned into her son. Look like her son. So all of them laughing. They say, you see, your own son only steal, and then you are blaming Krishna. So she got very red face. And then she brought the son back. Halfway, Krishna turned back into Krishna. And then she looked, hey, oh, you are very mischievous. How you did that? You turned into my son and you turned back. I can do anything I want. You don't ever next time bring me to mother and my mother, okay? If I want to steal, I want to steal. It's my wish. And you know something? Everything belongs to me. I am not stealing your butter. The butter belongs to me. I am the Lord. You are I'm just giving you to have the butter, but actually belongs to me. So if I take, I'm taking my own thing. So then she became very red faced. And then Krishna told the lady, one more time you bring me to Mother Yashoda, the next time I won't turn into your son. I will turn into your husband. And then you see how shameful you be. So anyway, that is one nice story. So Krishna is very naughty, but actually everything belongs to him. And then this lady also needed to understand that everything belongs to him. And he told her that I won't turn into your son, I'll turn to your husband. Just imagine if suddenly she brought the boy and then everyone looked and saw that it's her husband that she brought. It's even more funny, isn't it? So anyway, these are some of the funny pastimes of Krishna. So today you got this one of them. So tomorrow we'll start again 7:15 chanting. 7:30 we will start some nice Krishna stories, and also a few of the people have volunteered to read one of the favorite verses of theirs and explain. So there'll be about 5 people explaining. So it'll take 25 minutes. After that, we'll have some nice small stories. And also I will explain to you devotional service. And also there is a story of Vamana Dev, which I'm supposed to tell. And also there is a story the next day maybe. We'll talk about Krishna's birth and about coming Janmashtami, Krishna's birthday, you know. So I will give you some nice stories about Krishna's, how Krishna was born and all that. So hope to see all of you also. Anyway, it's nice all of you are here. So anything you like to say?